You guys look good.
You look good.
So do you, Steph. We look good. Damn.
But I was like, do I need to add the hat situation?
You know
do
what?
I need to come up in here?
You know what?
And give a little hat vibes. You know what I'm saying?
It's part of our MO, you know.
We did not talk about hats on the group chat before getting on this call.
Dude, backpack gang. Hi. Hi, backpack gang.
Is that even appropriate? Like we're not talking about that, right?
Oh,
right.
I mean, monkey, this is where we just have to put the monkey emoji like right in the corner.
Yeah, just
and the backpack like, next to it.
We're being bad, man. We're being bad.
Whoopsies.
Do you want to explain that to the people, or is that just we're just gonna not?
I think the studs and the stems and the femmes and all the range of folks understand what a backpack is used for. If you're on queer TikTok, if you're on gay TikTok, I feel like you know what the backpack is for, my guy. You know. Here we go. STEM perfection interview. So excited because the thirst traps. Listen, the thirst traps. Our DMs better be popping after this interview. That's all I have to say.
Are they not already popping? It's fine.
They kind of are.
Just speaking
the truth.
Quarantine DM.
We're not this conceited, but I will say, and we'll probably get to this at the end. There's no more supportive group of stems right here because we just hype each other up. We give each other love.
Yes.
We tell each other you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Yep.
And it's the affirmation I think our little selves need. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
Anyways.
Amen.
Okay. Amen.
Preach.
And we're church kids. And we're all church kids.
Yes.
And we're all connected to music. So okay, this kind of goes into how we know each other.
Yes.
So does anyone, I can intro how we know each other, but does anyone want to say how we know each other?
You can start it.
All that stuff. Okay, cool. So I was at QCF, which used to be known as Gay Christian Conference, and they changed the name actually that year that I was there, and I went by myself. And I sat in the back of the women's conference, which is like a pre-conference session. I wasn't supposed to be there. I didn't have a ticket. I didn't sign up on time. I didn't even get a little baggie or a little scarf. I don't know. I didn't get.
not the scarves.
I was a loner. Okay, I was a loner. I was by myself, and I sit in the back, and I see these two fine stems on stage. Okay. And I'm nervous because they're about to lead worship. And I'm like, it better be good. God dang it. It better be good.
Right.
I hope it's good. I haven't been in a church for a minute. You know, I hope it's good.
Yep.
Because there was a legend on the stage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Talk about it. Talk about the legend.
Talk about Bishop.
Come on, Bishop.
Bishop Flunder was on the stage. Okay. Bishop, who literally is the original singer of Thank You, Lord, was on the stage. She was getting an award. I didn't even know she was going to be there. I didn't know she was queer. I didn't know a lot of things, okay? She gets on stage. She starts singing Thank You, Lord. Thank You, Lord is one of my family's favorite songs of all time. Also, my family has connection to the Hawkins, whatever. Music connection. So I'm like, I hope this band can do it. I hope they can do it. And Rachel hits this intro lick.
Yeah, she did.
Rachel hits this intro. And I said, wait a minute. Hold up.
You actually studied the chords? You actually studied it? What?
You know, you're not just playing the same four over and over.
Right.
Listen.
You hit this gospel lick and I said, oh, hey now.
Yep.
Here comes Stefie.
If Allison ever gives you the hey now, you know it was a good day.
If I do this and I stood up and Stefie started hitting the beats and I said, all right, I surrender.
I'm here.
She held that drum in between her thighs, just right here with all the strength and rhythm in her soul. You know,
I said, I'm here to worship. I'm here to worship now. I didn't think I was, but I'm here. I'm here to say thank you, Lord, for all I've done.
Yes, for me.
To get me to this point. It had been a rough couple years, okay?
Talk about it.
But I saw them. I was really nervous to chat with them. But I was like, I'm going to be their friends. I just kind of felt it in here, in my heart. I felt it in my heart and my spirit. But I was nervous. I was trying to just go with the flow, not be weird. And then I found Rachel's Instagram after. Maybe some DMs pursued, some friendly, fun DMs pursued.
PJ Morton, music talk,
PJ Morton talk, music talk, lots of music talking.
So much, yes.
Rachel goes, did we meet? And I was like, we did not meet. It's fine. I found you on IG. What's the internet for? I don't know.
The thing is, I remember like being there and like literally like in the back of the room, I will never forget during this like powerful moment of like, thank you, Lord. Like this tall, fine ass femme stem just in the background with her hands raised. She's going like this. She's going in like I'll never forget that moment. And you're like going in and like I just remember you had like so much like queer swag about you too. And it just really like
to the side too. To the side.
The
like
side.
The hands were to the side.
Yes.
I needed a
That's
room.
how you know.
It really touched me. And then I was like, and now we're talking about PJ Morton, and that's how that happened. But
thank you. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, no, I think like it was a quiet room. You know, there was maybe a little bit less enthusiastic folks in the room.
Yes,
and I was like,
yes.
Why are we not standing? Why is are we not clapping? This is a legend in our presence. But yeah, I needed a room. I needed the room. I said, y'all gonna see me.
I'm gonna take up space. I'm taking up space.
And all of my queer swag right now.
I had a full button up. Maybe there was a chain. Woo! I don't know if there was a chain. There was a full white button up, black pants. It's winter. It's curls out. Winter in Denver.
Yep.
Denver, Colorado. I don't know why we live there, Rachel. I don't know why we did that, but
I don't know why.
I don't know why we did that.
What a weird chapter.
What a weird chapter in our lives. And then Rachel moved to Colorado like momentarily, and we started hanging out in person. We started hanging out at the neighborhood. I would drive up from Colorado Springs. And me, and then Stefie, obviously Rachel would call Stefie, follow, IG message. Stefie lives in the Bay Area right now. And I'm from the Bay Area originally, Northern California folks. So it was a connect. It was an instant connection.
Yeah. And I would say we didn't actually hang out in person until this year. Like this past year.
For years.
Yeah. So for like 2.5 years, we were just like, but I like considered you a friend. You know what I mean?
Completely.
Like you're my friend. I had just never seen you in person. I mean, other than QCF where we didn't talk.
Right. And so like there were so many shared experiences like that moment that like was so monumental for all of us. And also just like shared community. I mean, the queer Christian world is so small, and
talk about it.
When you know, like, and when you share so many similar interests, it's like it's just a natural gravitation, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, totally. Yeah. There's a lot of shared experiences. And like you said, that time there's different moments we were in the same room in different sessions and like,
yeah.
That's a whole other podcast.
Crazy.
It's a whole other one. It's a whole other one. Yeah. But I would say like, I think that's the best way to describe our friendship and our meeting. And I'm so glad I got to meet Stefie this year in person with masks on in Sacramento. That was fantastic. And unfortunately, we would have been thoughting all summer without COVID. You know, I feel like we would have been in these streets.
It would have been hot girl summer again.
Again.
Second time around.
Second time. Yeah, it would have been
even
would have been a problem.
Like, right. I was gonna say, that I feel like the second hot girl summer is gonna be even more shame free, and it's gonna be better, but also worse. You know what I mean?
Let's move on.
Sit down. Sit down, my daughters.
We sound like F boys, but like we're just real feelers. We're feelers.
We're warm inside, I promise. We are all, you know, it's funny. I was watching this this TikTok that came on Instagram, and it was all about like types of lesbians, and one of them was like looks like masculine on the outside and like cinnamon roll on the inside, and I was like,
yes.
I was like, that's me. That's us. That's all of us. That's
full representation. Like we might be giving you a little squinty eye, a little
that's it.
a little licked lips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But on the inside, we're like, do you like me? Can you can you do things for me? Can you approach me? That would be great. If you could approach me and hit me up, that would be awesome. Don't hurt my feelings. Thanks. You know,
also here's some flowers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
right.
Your flowers. What you need? What you need?
Right.
Literally.
I want to be the small spoon tonight. Please. Probably every night, actually.
I think it's big verse energy. Big verse energy. Okay. Anyways, right. So with that said, our group chat has come to life. Y'all are seeing what we are like nonstop. But I thought you guys were the perfect people to hit up for this particular project. So if you could, say your current location right now. If you can do pronouns and maybe what you do, and then we'll jump into whatever photos you would like to share. So Rachel, go first.
Great. I live in Dallas, Texas, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I think, but I'm also cool with anything. Dude, man, bro, they, them, whatever. It all feels good to me. But I live in Dallas. Oh, and I teach private lessons and I gig. That is what I do.
Yeah. Rachel plays the guitar. If no one could see or hear me, I was doing a lot of guitar motion playing. So
now, if anybody can hit a lick, it's this one right here.
Rachel.
Rachel has literally had my spirit leave my body several times on their recordings.
She's my favorite guitarist in the world. Still.
Yes.
Well, thanks for making me blush, guys. You have officially succeeded in making me melt. Thank you.
Non-stop affirmations over here. Non-stop. Always. Okay, Stefie, if you could go as well.
I'm Stefie. I usually, Stefie's my full name, so that's my first fun fact. I know that I am, a big part of my story is that I know I look very light-skinned and could pass as, Caucasian. When Allison saw us in the front, she thought, "Oh, two white girls.
White girls.
I hope they're good."
I was nervous. Yeah.
Which I am. I'm starting to embrace that. Like I am a white Latina. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's what I am. And I have a lot of privilege because of that. But I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, which my cultural upbringing was a little different. Right now I'm in the Bay Area. And I've been here for the last 8 years. And what I do is I'm in grad school right now. I'm about to be a therapist, a full ass therapist. I'm already a therapist, but I'm not getting paid for it because I'm in my practicum. And I will be done in June. So in a few months, I will be done and I will actually be therapist, getting paid for it. And on the side, I do music, just on the side. Right now it's a lot of like collabs and, but Rachel and I actually are a part of a trio. We have like an actual band that we made, a little acoustic soul band. And how we met was also at QC. Like, Allison, when you saw us on stage, that was our first time meeting as well.
Wild.
Yeah. And the connection, the synergy was just there. It was insane. Just there. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird.
Dynamic. So yeah. I remember when you were playing, I was like, you're so dynamic when you play. And I just remember you saying, women, we're dynamic, that was your answer. You're like, I'm a woman. And I was like,
because I mean, I don't know if I said, but so I'm a drummer / percussionist, mostly percussionist, and all throughout, like, I've been playing in church since I was like 8, and I always heard that. Like, I always was like, you're just so good at like volume control and like knowing like when to go up and down. And I was like, I think it's because I'm a woman. Like, people are used to like hardcore like male drummers, in my opinion. Like, there's a different discernment in the
intuition
choices, and in the choices that you make regarding volume. And
well, as you guys know, playing in a band, you're supposed to be playing for the group sound, you know, like what's happening together, what's going on together. Are you guys communicating together? Whose moment is it to shine? Whose moment is to sit back and chill, you know?
Yeah.
So when one person just takes over and then just keeps going, you can feel that. You can feel that energy, you know?
Yep.
Yep.
And Stefie definitely has like the gentleness and the strength and knows exactly intuitively when to utilize it. Oh,
Rachel?
Worship.
Did you just say gentle strength? I like that. That's that cinnamon energy that I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're good. Thank you, Rachel. See, we're really good at gassing each other up.
Gas each other up.
There's nothing like the way that like we can encourage each other. Like I don't get goosebumps like when I tell people stuff like that. Like I don't know what it is, but just the shared experience is so real between us all. And I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, and I use she, her pronouns. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. And Stefie's my full name. Did I already said that?
Yeah, you did. No, it's okay.
It's really important. It's really important to me. Like, I'm not Stephanie.
Because people always go, Stephanie.
Yeah.
I didn't introduce myself as that. I introduced myself as Stefie.
Right. Were you listening? No.
No.
You weren't.
It happens. Or people start calling me Allie. I was like, ooh, that's also not my name. Not my name. But it's, certain people, I let it slide. I let it slide a little. But it's more for Al. People call me Al. I'm cool with that. But I just don't feel like I look like an Allie.
No.
Nah.
No.
Okay.
Just the IG name.
Yeah. Just the IG name. I know. To be changed potentially. Okay, so let's start off with our photos. We have done this before. We have texted each other before, some of our photos from the past before I had this project idea, but I think I think this is a great opportunity. When I show the photo, I'm going to show Rachel's first. When I show the photo, if you could just describe the photo, like what was kind of going on, or what do you feel when you see the photo? So I'll start with this one. Rachel has 3 photos. So if you want to describe this photo to me and what's happening here.
Man, that was like the highlight of my childhood, that neighborhood, like just always playing. Like there's like the blacktop over here where we were always playing basketball, and then this big open field where we were playing baseball, soccer, just running around really in the grass and in the dirt, in those trees back there, building forts. I just feel like that reminds me of how I like originally like became interested in sports and just having fun outside and just being connected with nature. It's just important to me. Yeah.
Cute. Woo! Not much has changed. Not much has changed. Look at this. Okay, if you could describe what you're doing in this photo and kind of what's happening.
We're on like a family outing to like, I think some sort of pumpkin patch or something. And I just remember my dad, that's my dad's hat. Lots of times he would put his hats on me. And I really like that. And obviously. When I saw that picture, I was like, because there's not a ton of footage of me whenever he would do that. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so important to me because like, I don't know why hats have been really important to me, even though like I know like Jade Fox and some other people that are like influencers in the community I've spoken to sometimes that can be, I wear hats like every day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and hats to the back, hats forward. So in this particular photo, you're wearing a hat to the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
To the back.
And your long hair is flowing.
My long hair is flowing.
You're smiling. You look happy.
Yes. Oh yeah, I definitely feel like two things. I feel like yes, the hat's really important, and also the fact that my dad was always the guy who did that, because I was definitely like a daddy's girl, and I definitely like wanted to be just like him when I grew up. And also it reminds me of the first time that my dad affirmed me, when I wore like more masculine clothing, and the first time he ever affirmed me as an adult. And it just kind of reminds me of that, and I'm hoping, it makes me happy when I see it. It's just so good. Lots of thoughts.
I think there's like a lot to be said, and when we get to Stefie's photos a little bit later, like around like clothing and like clothing as, and like what's visibly queer, quote unquote, or what makes us feel good, but it's also just like what makes us feel good and what makes you feel seen. And so like there's just little moments of like, oh, you put a hat onto the back and it like kind of felt good. It just, you don't know why, but it felt good. You felt it felt fun, it felt sporty. In your first photo, you're looking very sporty. There's a shirt, there's definitely a church shirt happening in there. Definitely.
I don't know. We went to like 18 Awanas every Sunday or every summer. Like, it's hard to nail down which church that was.
Which Vacation Bible School, which Camp Bethel, Church of something. Being friends with Jesus. I think that's what it says. Being friends with Jesus. Being
so good.
Something. Yeah, good. Okay. Last photo.
I mean, I really like that picture, honestly, because all three of us have this fantastic thread of our baller days, and I had to just include it in there for that.
So Rachel is in a basketball uniform and holding a basketball to the side. There's maybe a little hip pose happening here. Is there some eyeliner? There's some eyeliner happening. You're caught. There's eyeliner.
Yes.
There's those natural streaks, some streaks happening in the hair.
Right.
It's giving I'm a baller, but I keep it fun.
But I keep it fun. I keep it fun. I keep it fun. You know
how
what I'm
old
saying?
Are you?
I'm a freshman here, I think.
Okay, so like 14, maybe 15.
15.
For sure, 15.
Yeah.
Okay, what memories do you have of this time period?
This is the time period that I was in a very small private school, and there wasn't a lot of people on the team, so there was like opportunity just kind of like get creative on the court. I don't know. I remember like there wasn't a lot of players, so I was at the time the only person that they would like consider like. Me and this other girl were like the captain, y'all. I was the captain of a basketball team, and I'm literally terrible at basketball. But no, what is it? What memories does it give me?
Well, like, what do you feel? Like, what do you feel when you see that photo too?
I feel like during that time, it was kind of like a difficult time period in my life. Like my parents were split, and like I guess. I was trying to like, I'm sure I was in love with one of my straight best friends or something like that. It was like, I do look at that. I think it was a hard time in my life.
Yeah.
Just around a lot of stuff. But I think like playing sports and moving my body, like it was a place that I could feel like I could be myself. I could get into my natural rhythm of things. Like any place where I could just feel authentic and feel good was always. And like when you play sports, like you could get away with being yourself and nobody knows.
No one knows.
Yeah.
So it was a special space of like, I'm not lying. I'm not trying to, this is natural for me to just whatever. And like everybody supports it and nobody has a problem with it. So I think that was like my safe space in a lot of ways and that time period in my life. And so it makes me happy. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Stefie. Let's jump into a couple of yours, and we'll go back through themes. We'll go back through common themes together. But yeah, let's see one of your first ones.
Okay, this one I was probably what is that, like a 3-year-old?
Yeah, I mean me. That looks like me at 1.5, but I was very tall. So I'm assuming you're probably 2, 3. Yeah. It looks like there's maybe a pull-up situation.
Yeah,
diaper situation.
But I have my shorts are long, and what's really funny about this picture, and I will say this was one of my favorite activities to do, was just to pull my shirt over my head like that.
Yeah,
it kind of looked like I was raised in the church, so we all had like skits and you were always married, like, you know, if you were in the nativity scene,
right, 3 wise men,
so you always had the thing over your head. And I just thought this was the funniest thing. I think one of the things that makes me think of is I've always kind of been like a goofy kid, and it's I would say I was thinking about my top values the other day, and I would definitely would say that fun and humor are probably top now. Like it's just something I need in my life. And so this just makes me think of a time where I was just so free. And now looking back, you know, obviously I'm too young to know anything about sexuality, anything, but like
right.
I just look so carefree, and I really like this one.
Yeah, your shirt, you know, little topless, little having fun, being goofy, don't care.
Topless, no shame, like
no
nothing.
Shame.
Like there's nothing.
Yep.
This is me a little bit later, probably a year later. I'm wearing I'm assuming my dad's shirt and a sideways hat.
Gotta be cool. Gotta be cool for the 90s.
Right. It looks very 90s. Like you see the bed. Like you remember those beds and those covers like that? Yeah.
Yes.
This was probably what, 92? And I just like this picture because I just look like a little tomboy. And again, I don't know anything about sexuality, anything at this age. You don't know anything, but
gender expression, nothing.
Nothing. And I just look, you know, like I feel like it connects to me now in a way. And then the third one is here we go, basketball.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy.
This is me in the 8th grade. That that pose picture where you have to be on one knee and holding the basketball on the side.
Yes.
I think here when I look at like my smirk and like my just the way I'm sitting, it definitely gives me queer vibes. Again, I mean, we all had a similar upbringing where we didn't really know that we were queer. There wasn't a term for how we felt at the time. It wasn't an option for us, you know?
No.
And so
because the term gay meant something completely different. It meant like, right?
Yeah.
So
and to be honest, you know, at least I grew up like if you were Christian, you weren't gay. Like it just wasn't an
it just
option.
didn't exist. No, right. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You were born. No, it doesn't happen to us.
You're too Christian.
It's literally not an option.
Yeah. So I would say that I was repressed here, but I didn't know I was repressed. And now looking back and doing a lot of that work of like looking back at yourself and being like, how are you doing? You know? And and this girl, she was again carefree. Basketball allowed you to really be aggressive, like quote aggressive without consequences, right? Like
Okay, so I think like what you're saying about so we all grew up in the church. We all are like kind of PKs-ish adjacent, or our parents were involved in ministry pretty heavily. And so like our circles were that like completely. And I would say for me, like, there was no representation. There was no like, I can see myself in XYZ person. But when I look at those photos, I just have a lot of love and compassion. And a lot of like, man, like you knew who you were this whole time. Even though you had no language for it, even though you were being taught whatever socialized thing about getting married, having kids, like whatever. I think like we always fought for that. And I think our parents did allow us to do some things that affirmed us. I think there's something about being a 90s kid maybe, or even an 80s kid, where there was a little bit more blurring of some gender lines ish in some ways, and then other ways were very distinct. So it was a mix. Like I had a t-ball set or a wiffle ball set, and I was getting Barbies, you know what I mean? And my dad was taking me to go watch basketball games, and I was watching, you know, like there was different ways I think where my gender or my expression or my queerness was affirmed. And so I think it was really cool to hear you guys speak to those moments of like, like I was allowed to put my dad's clothes on, and it wasn't oh my God, it was probably like, oh my God, that's so cute.
Right.
And so much so that they took a photo of you. You know? And maybe girls are sometimes given more freedom. Like like young girls are given more freedom to do that. Like if a little boy is you know, dressing up in women's clothes, it's like a little bit different. So I think we did have some privileges there to like and play sports. Rachel, what you spoke about in terms of like being in your body and be able to move around and like run around. I mean, that's majority of our adolescence was just like sports.
Oh yeah.
Good or not, you know, like able to move around, able to be around other women, able to like be competitive and like have little things. It wasn't like, oh, that's gay. You're just like, you're athletic, you're cool, like you're fire,
you're cool,
you're cool. You're cool. You're so cool.
So the thing, I couldn't be pretty, but I could be handsome, so I'll be cool. You know.
Well, I call that stage the girly baller stage for me.
Yeah,
girly baller.
Yes,
I saw that. That was good
because it was like, oh, I'm a baller, but I'll still wear a little eyeliner.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll still straighten my hair.
Yep.
I'll still, you know, do whatever to kind of like pass or get by for safety and repress.
Yeah. It's so
laughing
hard
but crying, laughing but crying.
Right. You got. We're a good team between
there's
the three of us.
There's that new emoji where it's smiling and a tear. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
just one.
Just one.
A tear.
Just a small smile and a small tear.
I was thinking about
as you were saying, like,
no, go for it.
Just look real quick. So you were speaking on like being able to for some as 90s kids, maybe it was like okay for us to have both. I wonder, like it was accepted by our moms, our dads, oh that's cute. I wonder how much of that plays into our psyche as adult STEM women, you know what I'm saying? Like how much is it okay to play this side, that side's where and we hear like our parents, you know what I mean? Like everybody has that inner child's voice.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I just thought of that just now, but it'd be interesting to research later.
That's a great point because the way I dress when I go visit my parents still is not quite as what you would consider STEM as when I'm home here in California. When I go to, you know, it's still my style and they still see it as like, oh, that's how Stefie dresses. Yeah, but like I still keep it very, I even like hide the gold chains. Like I kind of like,
woo,
just you know, just a little less. Like I'll wear a denim, like a button-up denim shirt, which is totally acceptable to them.
Yeah,
sure.
Maybe I won't button it all the way up. You know, like things like that, where you still hear that voice of like, I don't know if they'll accept this. Like I don't want to freak them out too much. It's a whole nother podcast, but like they're slightly starting to accept me, you know, as I am. So I'm like, I'm trying to take it slow and
slide in there, you know, maybe the chain next year, you know?
Yeah, maybe the hat the next year. I don't know.
So here's the thing. Rachel and I both lived for a period of time with our families in the last year, right? Rachel, didn't you live at home for a little bit?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like, and so did the rest of the country. I think like what's been so interesting being at home is how I dress now. And I think in the last couple of years, exploring how far I can push it at holidays or how far I can push it at church events. Because
weddings.
I always weddings. Because I even at a wedding, I'm still like, I'm in the jumpsuit category. Okay.
Yes,
I'm in the jumpsuit category. It's still a little feminine. It's still a little rocking. Maybe people make a comment, but I'm comfortable. I'm not like sitting with my legs closed, like super uncomfortable. Yeah, I think like what you're talking about though is kind of like internalized homophobia, maybe, and maybe this fear, like maybe some little bit of fear of being too masculine here and there.
Yeah.
Like I'm exploring cutting my hair right now.
Come on.
Just gonna be honest.
I'm exploring
it. I'm exploring it. And like I'm like, I don't wanna. There's a couple reasons I'm holding back, but I'm very close to doing it. I'm very close. But I think like it's all about like respecting everybody's journey and everyone's process. Like these are things that I think have been messages to us. These are things that have been safety and protection for us for a long time to be able to like function within our family units, function in society. And so like it might sound messed up, but like it's our lived truth. Like it is what's happening. But yeah, I've definitely been just rocking a button up in like nice pants, like little
Yeah,
slacks.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
Haven't gone full suit. Haven't gone
Yeah.
full suit
Yeah.
yet. Will I ever? Will I do it? I don't know. And like I get to decide that, but Rachel, it's a great point. It's a great exploration. Like, have we kept the stem up to protect in ourselves in a way?
Yeah, and like it can even go, and then when you realize, like you said, the internalized homophobia and like the fear, you realize that and you see it and you're like, and then maybe like instead of trying to heal that, you push even harder, and so you're like, I'm always gonna wear a suit around my parents.
right
And then you're like, I actually like being feminine, you know what I mean? And so it's like,
yes
so many layers and stuff. So crazy.
Like there's room for both, and like, you know, you don't want to get boxed into one area either. Like I'm going to a wedding on Easter weekend, and I think I'm gonna wear a full pantsuit and heels, which is a big deal. I don't wear heels like during my life. Like it's not a thing. But like there's something really powerful about still owning my femininity because it's there. I'm not trying to like shut that down. Like I'm really not. It's just I want to just feel comfortable, and this is kind of how I mostly feel comfortable. And then the hair thing, Allison, I always say like I feel like at some point I'm gonna do it, right? But it's interesting for all three of us. Like long hair is kind of a part of our look in a way. Like it's just like a part of our identity, and the way you described it as protection is really deep, and I need to go meditate on that.
You need to go sit in a corner. I need to go sit in a corner and think about it. Yeah. I mean, Lena Waithe talked about it a lot when she cut her hair initially, with the locks, the long locks, and like it started with shaving under the back, and then friends have been talking about, well, why don't you just shave the back and then keep it long? And I'm like, I don't think that matches my personality either, you know? So, and then when I showed the haircut that I want to my hairstylist, his first comment was, oh my God, it's so cute because it also looks feminine too. And I was kind of like, okay, like it's still gonna hold pieces of me that I think are important to hold. But I thought that was interesting that was his first comment. Was like, oh, it's still feminine too. And I'm like, okay, like I don't know what boys think, but I'm like, like that's really fascinating that I still, even my big chop scary haircut for me is still in that realm, because it always will, because I will always hold those qualities. I will always exude that in my expression. I think like that's how I feel. And I've pretty much been exclusively shopping in quote unquote men's section for the last couple of years, which is newer as well. I would always try to throw one in there, and I'm like, oh, some of these photos in my mid to early 20s are
rough. Yikes.
Just rough.
And people love deep diving when you get to know somebody new, and they're like, I went and found that picture of you with
from 2012.
Right.
Skirt on and some Converse and some fried straightened hair.
It's bad. 2012. Don't look at 2012.
Don't do it. So I mean, we'll also like, because we've had those maybe tough periods, seeing those photos of us as kids are so exciting to me. It's so it's so exciting. It's overwhelming. I get so stoked. I'm like, I feel really self-centered. I'm like, I want to show everyone all the time because I recognize myself. Like I deeply recognize myself.
That's good.
And these other photos, I don't know who that person is. You know what I mean? Because that person didn't know who she was either. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I need a moment. I need like, that's so good. Like that is so good and so true. I don't know who, you were just pushing so hard at that time, because in your early 20s, you are starting to be aware of your sexuality, and you really pushing it down. Then you're like, oh, hell no, that's not
this down more.
More.
Stuff it down. I mean, I don't even connect to like some like teenager narratives. They're like, oh, teenagers are so just obsessed with sex or whatever. And I was like, I
was pure.
Super good at being celibate. First off,
so good. Abstinent. So good.
We're the best Christians.
Yeah.
especially like when people like are what their homophobia is based on like us being like hypersexual or something. Like we're the most shy. Like actually, it's so funny.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Basketball shorts to not make the men stumble. Good,
right? While swimming.
Exactly. Just be pure.
Soaking wet. You know what I'm saying? Just with all the clothes on.
Yeah, just basketball shorts, just going like this in the water, just waving. Just too much. Like when you dive
picking
in,
up your friends in the pool.
Like, when you dive in and you swim up, you gotta hold them or they'll fall. Like they're that loose.
Oh my god.
As you can see, we use laughter through our pain. But I mean, those moments are fun. They're funny because we're alive. We're funny. They're funny because we made it.
Because we're here.
Yeah.
But woof, what a time.
Woof, what a time.
What a time.
And then it's like when you look back, I know, right? I love what you're doing with this project, because when we do look back at ourselves, also the other thing in our childhood, like like the flirt, like the crush, the sexuality piece hadn't developed yet. So we're entirely genuine. We haven't suppressed anything yet. So we're free. We are like so free. And so it's so beautiful to like look back on that. Yeah. And we're free now. Come on, full circle.
Come on.
But we better some things.
Listen, we're working
so
on
it's even better now.
For some of us. Yeah, I would say like, I think there's moments of pure freedom, and there's moments of like that trauma comes back up, or that heaviness comes back up, or that internalized homophobia comes up, right? And I think that's like I think like it's not linear. That like journey is not linear. I think I'm learning like every couple years. I'm like, whew, did I regress? Like I thought I was here and maybe I'm not, and I'm just learning all these things that maybe everybody else got to learn when they were teenagers during those photos that they might see themselves or they think is funny. But I think I just want this to be a testament to like, it can get fun later, it can get flirty, it can get great. You can't keep exploring into your 30s. You know, we knocking at 30. Some of us is in our 30s. It is what it is.
Somebody.
Been past 30.
My right knee, y'all. She's different.
Yeah, right.
Already,
that's my
she don't
left
work
knee.
The same.
Yeah.
She don't work the same no more. She don't work the same. She can't drop down and get the eagle line.
No,
it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same. The mile time might hit a little different.
Right. It wasn't ever that good anyways. But oh god. Anyway.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You just gotta give her a little more tender loving care.
Yes. Yoga.
Okay, my last question for you guys is, and we've kind of talked about, but what are some ways you feel like you celebrate yourself now that maybe that kid would be really proud of? And celebrate your queerness and your gender expression and all of that.
Right. Steph, you got anything?
I was just about to say, Rachel, you got an answer. I'll go first. Man, I'm just, the fact that I can wake up and my closet has clothes that I feel comfortable in and that I want to express myself in. Then in a business setting, like I am now a queer therapist, and I my
favorite queer therapist.
Oh yeah.
Very much look like a queer therapist. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even that, there's just so much freedom in expressing who you are, that it's actually given freedom to my clients to come out to me, or like for them to feel comfortable, or like when we do telehealth and my rainbow flag is in the background, like it provides like freedom begets freedom, right? Like, like liberation. When you're liberated, people see that and they want to be a part of that. And so the fact that I can live my life, the way I honor that little girl is that now when I live my life, I'm not hiding anything. Like I'm really not hiding anything. You know, some people still are clueless, and I don't know how. Sometimes I'm like, are you looking at me right now? But whatever. It doesn't matter, because that's the beauty of being queer too. Is like they don't all look like us. Like hello, like we're gonna talk about the ladies we're probably more attracted to. You know, less they can hide in the wild and kind of be out. And
we're talking about femmes. We're talking about
yeah,
femmes.
we're talking about
we love you. We love you, femmes. We love you
so much.
No,
so
we love
much.
it. And you're no less, and that's the thing, you're no less queer.
You're no
obviously.
less. No.
Yes.
But for me,
no less valid. No less. No.
Yeah, like for me, that's like how I celebrate it. Is like I am just walking around in my full freedom, honoring that little kid who already was just so fun. I can still have my personality of being fun and loving and free. And there's nothing that I'm doing that I think is going to send me to hell, which was like our childhood and all this stuff. There's just so much. I think you can actually live in a way that's more out loud.
Yes.
And actually show your personality. You know, sometimes in my early 20s, I think about myself and I'm like, my personality was even like thwarted, you know, like I just felt even musically, I wouldn't let people see talent. Like it's just like a whole thing. And when you're actually free,
speak on it, Stefie.
You're able to just like let all the talents out, let people see you, like actually see you. So that's how I celebrate it. I'm just authentically Stefie, and you're just gonna get what you see. You know, you see what you get what you see, whatever. Idioms are still hard. ESL, you know, I learned English at a later date.
I love it so much. You did great.
Thank you.
That was so beautiful because I feel like you showed our full experience, you know, because we could sit in the dark, we could tell some dark stories in this, but we don't need to right now. But like I think that covering and that shame and that deep hidden, like you think you're the only one, all of that just constricts everything. Like you said, your personality is different, the way you dress is different, the way you express yourself, your talents are different. So yeah, you saying that I think is just so beautiful and so eloquent, and I'm so happy you are living your full
self.
I'm proud of you. Yes.
Come on,
okay,
Rach.
come on, Rachel, speak to me. What are ways in which you celebrate yourself now?
Ways that I celebrate myself now, I think that I'm active. It's like a lot of a lot of stuff going on in my mind. So like I think I actively am telling myself, you don't have to be ashamed of that. And I tell myself that a lot. And then I follow it up with like I think lots of times I envision, and we've talked about this in the chat a little bit, but like envisioning like God, who I feel that, you know, I have a relationship with because that's how we grew up, and like that's very real to me. So like imagining that sort of parental figure, like saying like, say I'm like at the bar flirting with someone and I feel some sort of shame back here. Still I like imagine like maybe like a sibling or a best friend or a parent going like, no, you got this, Rage. Like, I see, you better go. Like, you know what I mean? And like envision him or her like smiling and like just being like happy for me. And so like doing that every day, like imagining God's happiness for me and like actively letting go of shame has been just really, really good for me, I think. So a lot of stuff in my mind, getting in my body has been really good. Just lots of, you know, yoga and like, just even like taking the time to just like, you know, when you get out of the shower, like lotioning and like remembering that I have a body and like loving my body, all that stuff, you know, that the hippies talk about that is so important.
So good.
It's good.
So good.
Yeah, and yeah, it really has brought a lot of healing, and I think, and I'll close it off with kind of like talking about what you said, Steph, that like a lot of my students that I teach now compared to when I was teaching maybe in college like 6 years ago, now that I'm more actively myself, just being who I am, like I do have many like middle and high school students go like, are you queer? Are you gay? Because like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's good.
And so being able to like confide in somebody has like been really cool. And so being able to like see that little kid and like see myself in them and like go back and look at that little kid and say like, if that was my kid, or if, am I loving myself the way that I would want to love maybe my future child?
That's
and then
good.
like, so just a lot of things, honestly, but
visibility, man.
Yeah,
visibility.
If we want to like talk about that, you know, we could just exit out on the Justin Bieber song, right? Holy.
Yes.
Because not shame, but holiness, beauty, you know what I mean? Like authenticity, all those good things. That's the song.
That's the song that's the exit song we doing.
Rach.
Rachel.
The way you hold me, hold me.
Background vocals. BGBs. Yeah, our group chat's also filled with music links and videos.
Oh, so many links, so many good links.
So many church musician links. I mean, just
listen, we get down with gospel music. It's just what it is. Like we just get down.
We can't help it.
I am churchy at the end of the day.
Churchy.
I'm churchy. I don't.
It does it for us.
You can hold on to that forever. It will never leave me. It will literally never leave me. I went out the other night and played a new gospel record. I just won't say who it's from, but I haven't played a gospel record in a minute. And I was like, how I end up at every end of the night.
Yeah.
Still, here I go.
Still like this.
Hey, shots on shade.
Right. Like, it just always comes back. She-bo.
Always comes back to it.
Still at the bar. We're still talking about this with.
Listen, how many times in my 20s was at a bar ended up talking about Jesus? I said, I'm just here to dance. Why am I still talking about Jesus everywhere? I didn't even bring it up. I didn't even bring it up. It is what it is. But I think we're beautiful. I think we're all a beautiful witness to everyone in our faith and in our queerness. And I think it's been beautiful to share space with you in our, not only in our group chat, but in our FaceTimes and our Zoom calls and then this podcast moment. And I just so appreciate you both for being on it and speaking so much truth and so much beauty. So I love y'all. Thank you. And keep being gay, keep being a lesbian. Okay?
Hell yeah. That's not changing.
Never changing.
Never changing. Don't change, never change. And put your kid photos around, I think. You know, have them up. Have them up, show them off.
That's good.
Okay. That's it.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love you guys too.